Q&A time. So, would you rather clear off your debt or save for an emergency fund? Whew, that's a loaded question. When I first started this, I was actually in debt. I remember what it feels like. I was about $50,000 in debt or so. That's on consumer debt, and something that I do a lot of silly things throughout my whole entire life before I get up to where I am. So here's what I would do if I was in this situation. Should you clear out debt or save for emergency fund? I do both. At the very minimum, you need to have at least, let's say, a month of expenses or so. So if for me, that's my emergency fund. I'll be more comfortable if I have, let's say, maybe $4,000 or so in the bank as a buffer. This is just in case if you're renting, you need, I guess, some sort of fund if you need to move out of home. If you have to move out from your current rental place, and to have the bond to go to move to another rental place, plus the cleaning up, plus all the remove list, plus all the admin that comes with it. So there's that one sector. And then there's another sector of, in case if anything happened, let's say if you need to drive to go to work and something happened to your car, you need to fix that straight away, because that way you would not, it would not stop you to earn an income, let's say. That aspect of it, it's kind of neat. It's a need. It is a must that you have this vehicle running at all time. So there's that number two. And then number three would be, in case it's like that, for me, I feel like that's sort of like a buffer, something that I can rely on, at least about 2 or 3, somewhere around there. If you never have any before, and I remember that feeling, I still do, until this day. That's just a buffer in case if anything happened. But at the same time, while you're building up that emergency fund of 3, 4, whatever thousand it is that you want to have, to get yourself comfortable, you pay the bare minimum on your bills, let's say. As soon as you have that 3 months, $3,000-4,000 in your account, then you go to pay off the debt as quickly as possible. And if you can, what I did was actually transfer it to another, let's say, another credit card. If you have a credit card, transfer it to another credit card that has I guess a balance transfer or so for up to a certain number of period, let's say 12 months, 18 months. And in that time frame, you would try your best to quickly pay off as much as possible. Meanwhile, you still have your buffer of about $3,000-4,000 or so. But that's my numbers. I'm comfortable at about $3,000 in the beginning of my journey. So that's what I did. And within the 18 months, if you can't clear it for whatever reason, then you need to transfer that again to another interest-free loan. But I'm hoping that you could actually complete that within the first transfer, and you'll never have to do it again. You don't want to do it again, because why would you want to keep debt? Like, I don't understand that. So for me, paying off, it's sort of like a double-edged sword. So if you can, at a certain point or so, maybe even if it's like $1,000, once you have enough, that one buffer, and let's say you have only spare of $200 per week or so, I'll split that into 2, so that way your emergency fund goes up by a little bit, but your debt also goes down by a little bit. As soon as this buffer, the emergency fund, is topped up, whatever amount that you choose as an emergency fund, then say again with that $200, if this is already topped up, then I would I guess put a lot more focus on reducing the debt. That's how I go about it. That's actually how I did it. So yeah, this is coming from my own personal experience. So from then on, I promised myself I'll never want to go into debt, because I don't like the fact that every week when I get my paycheck, a certain portion of that goes towards this credit card or this consumer debt or whatever debt that you have. And then from then on, once you've done that, you close it off as quickly as possible. If not at the increments of, let's say you've only got, you're able to do a balance transfer of $4,000 for increments every $500. You call up the bank and say, listen, I want to drop down my limit to whatever the current balance is, and then keep on dropping it down every $500 or every $1,000. This gives you a reminder, the pain, the feeling, the friction that goes, why did I go into debt in the first place? The hurt factor is like a reminder for you. And the fact that I did it, to be honest with you, I went through every single week where I actually go to the physical bank, actually line up in the counter. I remember, lining up, wasted about 20 minutes of my life on and just depositing $100. I didn't do the bank transfer like what currently the sophisticated system that we have. I actually did that. Why? Because this reminds me, I don't want to do this ever again. Because the thing is with debt is it can just slowly creeping up as you go. And it's not good when it's just keep on creeping up. And it will creep up and it will take over from you, because that's what happened to me. The debt is actually take over me before I get to where I am. And a reminder that, hey, you don't want to do this ever again. As soon as this is finished, as soon as this is closed off, that's it. You don't want to do it ever and over again. And that's what I promised myself. And from then on, once I close it off, I have never opened up a credit card again. It's funny thing was, I remember having the card in my wallet every day for about 6 months or something. The balance is actually zero. I haven't received a statement for about 6 months, and I thought this card here is for emergency fund. Realizing your emergency fund is your emergency fund. It's not your credit card as an emergency fund. When I call up the bank, asking them, oh, what was the reason of closing? I don't need them anymore. Oh, you could probably keep them for emergency fund. I'm like, no, my emergency fund is my emergency fund. So there shouldn't be any excuse why you need the credit card in the first place. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Why don't you just save up and buy it when you have the money? So that's just my 2 cents how I go about it. So I'll do in the beginning have some sort of emergency fund, whether it's only $1,000 start up an emergency fund, or $4,000 if you're comfortable, because in case if you're renting, you're moving out somewhere. So there's that one sector. And then the other sector would be, hey, start paying off the debt. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents, guys. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and comment. That'd be muchly appreciated. This is based on my personal experience, my life, based on what I've learned so far. If you like this type of content, see you on the next video. Bye.